the fall guy. I'm more of a summer guy myself. What's up, Flick fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking The Fall Guy, David Leitch, Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, an ode to stunt work in Hollywood. Let's talk about it.
That's me, Colt Sievers, and this is my hero's journey.
So a down-and-out stuntman must find the missing star of his ex-girlfriend's blockbuster movie. This is rated PG-13 for action, violence, drug content, some language. Directed, of course, by David Leitch, who was half of the directing duo for the original John Wick, but went on to do movies like Atomic Blonde, Hobbs and Shaw, Bullet Train, which I was a big fan of.
Move this man!
Deadpool 2, he's a former stuntman, and so he has a love, respect, adoration for what this movie is all about. And like I said at the beginning, it's an ode to the industry. That's what I wanted to see first and foremost. I wanted to see that on full display, different types of stunts. The movie itself is about a stuntman, yes, but we get to see various examples all throughout the film, even though that isn't necessarily the focus of the story. All of it's happening throughout, and we get awesome set pieces, some really fun action sequences, although I will say, maybe not as memorable as some of his other movies, but still entertaining. And Colt, played by Gosling, down on his luck stunt guy who's involved in like this accident at the beginning of the movie. Things didn't go right, and so this girl that he's had an affection for so long, he's always believed in her talents, and he told her at the beginning of the film, you will make it one day. Well, she's finally getting her opportunity to make a movie, and about a year later, they reunite on this project, and there's a little bit of tension because of how he just kind of shut the world out after his accident. And we get an insight into the behind-the-scenes aspect of this fake movie that they're making that really feels like Dune mixed with Rebel Moon, aka Space Farming the movie.
Guts, glory, Ram.
I guess with some Mad Max in there, and it's funny because Furiosa is coming out in a few weeks, but Aaron Taylor Johnson is the star of this fake movie that they're making. Ryan Gosling is his stuntman. And so Gosling knows the ins and outs of that world, the fact that they shine a light on it while they're making this movie, but it also has that Babylon aspect of you're really getting to explore what's going on set. You got some long takes. Emily Blunt with the megaphone, she's the director. It's a really fun aspect to a movie that did kind of search for its plot beyond that, and once we get Gosling's goal, or Colt's goal, in this film, that's when his real journey begins. He has to go after someone, and they trust him to do this because he has a background in fighting, stunt work. I guess he's qualified, not really. But they tell him, they're like, Colt, you're his stunt guy, you know him. And he's like, well, he's kind of a douchebag. But Aaron Taylor Johnson plays the douchebag very well. And then Gosling, of course, with just the best comedic timing. I wanted to laugh more during this film. They go for the humor quite often, especially with Gosling's character. And while his timing is great, the way he reads the dialogue is fantastic. I feel as if what they wrote for him along the way was just trying a little bit too hard to be funny, and there were some reoccurring bits that I wasn't all that engaged with, and then you get to his drive, his motivation, and Blunt's character, and in that way, it's supposed to be part romantic comedy, so part action movie, part romantic comedy, part behind-the-scenes film focusing on stunt work, and the rom-com aspect, as much as I wanted to love it, and as fun as these two are having, and really, they're great.
They're great.
We really didn't spend enough time with them together on screen for that to work, especially through the back half of the movie where they're separated for most of, if not the entirety of the third act until the main end. And once you get them back together, you feel that spark again, and the chemistry is great, but they're rarely on screen. So when they are, it's almost like I was expecting a lot more out of them because they don't share that much time together. And the movie can't figure out what to lean on more. Do I want to be a romantic comedy, or do I want to be an action movie where this guy who's clearly unqualified is going after this other guy, and then you have this plot that just isn't that engaging on that side. And in a way, the Fall Guy knows this, so it really doesn't choose to focus as much on his journey. It's more so the antics along the way, the action sequences that we get ourselves into. That's the heavy focus of the film, and Leach makes sure to put everything into those sequences, and that was really fun. I mean, watching this on the big screen with awesome sound design, a really fun score, and the creativity behind those sequences really makes it worth watching in the theater. From a really fun car chase with Stephanie Hsu, who plays a character in this movie, and she is fantastic in her small amount of screen time, as is Winston Duke. I'm like, man, I wish he was in the movie a lot more than he actually was. And then you get this sequence in the nightclub where something funky's going on with Gosling's character, and so he starts to see things as he's fighting. What they do with the color in that scene was really impactful, and I would say that's the best sequence in terms of choreography. It was just really fun. I'm 90 minutes into this film. I'm like, okay, that's great. Here we go. We're wrapping up. This is the perfect length. And then we go on around 30 minutes longer, and it's a 2-hour movie, and it shouldn't have been a 2-hour movie, but they had to make it that. And I see why they did that, but you could have cut out some of these portions in the middle that didn't feel nearly as important and shrunk that final action sequences, because that does feel overly long, even though it is very cool visually. And so before I give you my score, get in that comment section, let me know what is the best David Leitch movie, what's the best Ryan Gosling movie, and did you like this one a bit more than I did? The Fall Guy accomplishes its main goal by successfully highlighting stunt work and its importance to the industry. Gosling and Blunt are having a blast, but the plot itself is a bit of a mess. Colt's journey never hooked me, and the humor is inconsistent. That being said, the set pieces are awesome. You can feel the love for stuntmen and women. It's not one I'm going to carry with me through the rest of the year, but it is one that I had a solid time with in the theater, and for something like this, that is really all that matters. Let me know your thoughts down below, and should the Oscars have a stunt category? I think after this film and all the incredible action movies we've gotten recently, I say yes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.